Happy Tip Day. This is Marcy. So I wanted to share with you an idea that I found for referrals. Okay. So this will be sort of short, but um, have you ever gotten a referral check? They're kind of nice, especially when you have a friend and you get that referral, and let's say it's an incoming referral, so you're paying out 25%, 20% or whatever, but you wouldn't have had that business otherwise, and you get to go out and help a buyer buy a house or a seller sell their house or whatever. Referrals are awesome. But you can also get outside referrals. So when you're working with somebody and they are moving to another area, make sure that you get a referral for the business of where they're moving to. So, and I know most of y'all know about this, but this was something I saw that I was like, huh? So Zillow is reaching out to listing brokers or listing agents in areas and saying, hey, we have buyers for your area. Are they moving out of the area? So in other words, if you're saying, I work in Cartersville, Georgia, somebody from South Atlanta might be wanting to move up to where I live because, dang, that traffic is horrible. So their strategy is that they're reaching out to the listing agents of properties listed by owners, not by companies or anything like that. So you get rid of the corporate stuff that's, rentals and so on, but go after actual owners and the listing agents and say, hey, listen, is your client looking to move north? Because, hey, Cartersville's a fantastic spot. Our taxes are lower, the crime rate is lower, whatever the reason might be. And you're not going to find one every time, but what if you spent a day reaching out to people outside of your area to ask if they're moving to the area, if their clients are moving to the area, and offer, listen, I'll do something with you. I know you don't want to drive from like Lawrenceville over here or Savannah to the Atlanta area or wherever it might be, you know, I'd be glad to do a referral with you, and you get yourself known as the person that's reaching out to these listing agents. And even if they don't have a seller then at that point, how many of us have dealt with somebody moving out of state or moving out of the area? Because I know I have just in the past year or so, people have moved out. And so, I've listed their house, but they've already found somebody on the other side, or they didn't, but in the course of us talking about selling their house, I didn't even think about asking to help them find a referral partner on the other side in Greenville, South Carolina, or wherever it might be. But this is just another strategy. And I remember my first year in real estate, I was in a class with this lady, and it was kind of one of those longer classes. So we had a break, and I was talking to her, and she was real friendly, and she was asking me about my business and how I was growing it and everything. And I said, so how do you grow your business? And she said, honestly, what I do is I go to CE classes and I meet agents from other areas. So as long as I'm in the state of Georgia, I'll drive 2-3 hours to go to a CE class because I'm going to meet a whole classroom of people that might refer people back to me in Atlanta. And I was like, wow, that's an interesting way. I said, well, do you like work with buyers and sellers? Do you advertise for in other ways? And she said, nope, I just do referrals like that. And I also connect buyers with people from other areas. So it's just about referrals. I just work with agents and get referral checks. And I'm like, man, that's really an interesting way of doing things. So if you've never thought of that as being an option, it's pretty easy to do. Just pull up a listing anywhere or in area and go through the listings and maybe even text them. Come up with a nice little text strategy that says, hey, I'm an agent in the Northwest Atlanta area, or I'm in the Mineral Bluff area, I'm in Rome or whatever. And I love to work with agents and with buyers that are from elsewhere because I know this area. I've been here for my whole life, or I've been here for 30 years or whatever it might be. talk yourself up and say, I'm wanting to build my business by drawing people into our towns. So if you have anyone that's moving into the Rome area or into the Cartersville area, into the Blue Ridge area, whatever it might be, um, would you send them to me? And you're talking to listing agents because the listing agents are the ones that are out there doing the work and are actually going to interact with these people. Let them give you the referral. You develop a strategy. After you've gotten a few listing agents under your belt that are willing to send you buyers or potential sellers or whatever, or even you do a referral back to them, consider it a network. Create a little Facebook page that talks about referrals. Create a spreadsheet so that you keep up with this. Enter that spreadsheet into your CRM, into Bold Trail. Create a drip campaign that keeps in touch with these agents. Like, thank you so much for your referral. I really enjoyed working with you. Hey, this is what's going on in our town this week or this month or whatever. So we just found out recently that actually email is one of the best return on investment, and it's still working. Like, I didn't even know that it worked anymore. It's still working. So if it's working with buyers and sellers, you and I are on our emails, right? We're looking for those deals to come in. We're looking for people to email us. So keep that in your scope of maybe this is a good way for you to do business. We do have a whole playbook on this. If you look under the buyer idea vault and listing idea vaults, I know that there's one in there about referrals that might have some different ideas than what I just shared. But I think this is a great way to add to your business already. And if you wanted to work out a different way than making phone calls or cold calling that is, I mean, this is, you might want to make a phone call to a listing agent, but you could start with a text. They're probably going to respond better to a text anyway. Make sure that they know that you are a real agent with Maximum One and that you're looking to expand your business or expand this area. You know that there are people moving in from outside the area, and you just want to be a resource that's competent and strong, knowing the community. I would much rather work with somebody, if I was a buyer, that knows the area, that has also connected to my realtor in whatever town I live in. I think that's a great way to keep connection. So anyway, just a thought. I hope this tip helps you get more business, because that's what this is all about, helping you learn and earn more. Have a great day.